Right, being an electrician, self-employed electrician to be exact, we've got to figure out if we're making money. And today is going to be one of them days. I've gone and looked at the job, priced the job, got the materials, and now I'm on the way to do it. So through this video, we're going to see what I've spent and what I'm making. In effect, see if I come out on profit and I've priced it right. Yeah, hopefully I have. And basically, let's start off with minus 50 quid, because I've gone and looked at the job. That took time out of my day. I went and given my quote, and I've ordered all the materials. So yeah, that's got to be about 50 quid an hour's worth of work. So let's get cracking. And to start off, we've got to go get some fuel, because the last thing you want to do is be stuck at a job and have to go get fuel and go back again. So let's fill up. I always say, if it's your vehicle, you're going to be driving it, fill it up. There's no point in coming back putting £20 in. I know some kids, they go there and put a £5 in every now and again. I don't even know you can do that anymore. I used to do it when I was young. But then, yeah, fill it right up. You're going to use it. Because now it's getting colder as well. The most boring thing is standing here, filling your frigging van up with petrol or diesel. Diesel mainly, yeah. There we go, 90 quid down before we've even got any tools out. We got here, we said we'd be here at 8:30, which is fine. Hang about. And the time, sugar, is now 8:40, where we've got all our kit out, ready to go. And the first thing I want to do is change a few of these lights to ceiling roses. So let's start doing that. So first things, we want our little volt tester, a couple of different screwdrivers, because I'm not sure what screws are up there. Load my pockets up. And obviously, these are the switches. These two to start with, lighting off. So this one's got a Phillips in it to start with. Oh, stuck to ceiling. Look at that. Beautiful. What they've done here. Mess. So we'll get a new ceiling rose. Go up here. There we go. We can fix it perfectly up where that is. It looks like it's on a joist, but I'm going to take this out for a second. Get that there. And we want this to come through there. And let's try and cover up as much as we can. Go a bit of light on it, might be a better idea. There we go, and that is on a joist, or some sort of joist in there, basically. So that's good. Again, we've got a couple of crosshead screws in there. So we can take these out. Looks like one's missing. They've just put a couple up. What is this going to look like in there? Yeah, looks like they didn't bother connecting the earth once again. For what reason, I do not know. And that's that one in, done, and we're going to leave this down because we'll give it a test at the end to make sure that it's all good. Another one done and dusted. On to the next. Now this one we're going to be a little bit more careful with, because I know that it's going back up somewhere else. So let's get this off. Look, they've connected the earth in this one at least. But what they have struggled to do is get it into that. So they've just jammed a bit of 2.5. And that was loose anyway. Yep, that was loose. Yeah, jammed a bit of 2.5 in there to extend it all. So we'll scrap that off for when we put this back up. So I've marked out the centre. Basically ignore what that was, but that is in the centre by drawing that on the wall. And now we're going to drill a new hole and then get into this loft. Now, I'm always a bit dubious about going in people's lofts because even the person that bought this house hasn't been up here, I wouldn't have thought. And you don't know. It's a decent size actually. What the hell is all that? That's that loft insulation been ripped off. But it is massive up here because sometimes you see bees' nests. I've never found anything worse than a bee's nest. But look, they've got a little crawler board as well. This should be good. So now all I've got to do is find them cables. What the hell is that? And got the old header tank. Get rid of that. So I'm assuming the joists, yes, are there. Ah, it's got plenty of insulation in here, isn't it? Let's move that for a bit. I need to find the cables. I would have thought they went this way for the light. Move that out of the way. You've got to work out. I should have shoved a rod through. There we go. Look at that. That's where it is. All the cables go into there. That's interesting to see what. Oh, that's the old rubber cables then. So they didn't rip them out. So we want to come over to here. And as always, they probably won't reach. Look at the state of them. And now to find this one as well. So I would say this is about the centre of the room. Let's pull this back. That, where do we see? Nope. We'll see the cables going over the joists somewhere. There we go. That looks like, oh, I was going to say the end of line, but it's not. Let's get this out of the way for a sec, because that is where we want to go. Which we've got all this. So one's going to be long enough because that'll go to the switch. The other live and neutral. Might not. Well, the live and neutral is not going to reach. And rather than string it across like a washing line, I'm going to pull another leg in. So we're partially rewiring this to be able to move that light. We could just stick a joint box in, but yeah, I don't want to do that. Put a new cable in so we can terminate all the terminations in the ceiling rows, basically. This is the plan. So then we've got that one moved, terminated, done. We had to replace that live from the bathroom light, but I've got that moved, terminated and done. And then a ceiling rose put up there. So now I want to sort this out. And what is that in there? Some sort of thermalite block. So I'm going to chop that to get that in better. And that will sit better once that room is plastered. This wasn't quoted for, but little things like that, where I can just easily make it look better, I like to do. So yeah, I've done that now. So now it's been decided we want 2 sockets there, basically a double and a double. So we're going to get up this floorboard to get to there. But remember downstairs, that's not a joint box. Yeah, so we're going to do something about that as well. More than likely, that's a ceiling rose, so we'll just pull the cable and put it in and make it a lot better. So let's see what's in here. Oh my God. I'm just going to cut it to bits, let's be honest, and bell it out. It's a shambles. Then take that down and put it in there. This is where this comes in handy again. And this is the sort of thing you come across. Where's the screwdriver? Like joint boxes. And I bet you behind that there's 2 cables, so that could have been a single socket. But we're taking that one out. And what? Oh, it's connected up. It's connected up as a spur for that. But yeah, let's make it better. It's going to be easy. So what I'm hoping is that this is a ring main up here that connects onto that, so we can take that leg out, go to that socket, yeah, and figure out so we can join as least as possible in the floor. That is the plan. So first things first, let's make sure these are off. Yes. What'd I tell you? Just come off the bloody wall anyway. Why didn't they just put that? This cable tied in. Oh. Yeah. So we're going to take this cable out. Like that, I suppose. Right, sorry, let's get this out a minute. Don't want that in there anymore, that is not connected. Try and get the rest of that out. There we go. Why it's got a cable tying that, I don't know. But, right, so this was where the ring main was connected onto. Which, I suppose it worked, no sleeving. But this is what we're going to use today, the ideal box. So let's put this in here, and then now what we want is to get these, that is to that spur, that is carry on the ring main, that is the ring main coming in. So that one comes from that way, so let's terminate these. Right, like so. That's a bit long, so we'll just chop that off a bit. Like so. And then this one. Look at that, it worked. Okay, but it might not. So this is going to go in there. This is going to go in there, like so. And then that will go in there. Hang about, that's it. So we'll get rid of this. Oh sugar, what was that? Twinge. And this to the earths want to swoop off and in to that. Okay. We'll get the earths in there. They're in nice. Because the last thing you want is a loose connection. Because it causes arcing. And no, you just don't want it really. It's rubbish, isn't it? You get rubbish readings. There we go. The tighter it is, the better. That is in there. And that is your Quick Fix JB3. With your maintenance free zip tie bits on as well. There we go. That can sit under there. Right, so let's get this bit of chasing done. It's only a couple of sockets. So, got this on. Hoover works. Yes, yes, yes. Damn, everything's falling to bits. That on. This on here. This on here. Earmuffs, because it's a bit loud. Right. There we go. So I'm going to try it. I thought this worked. It comes out a bit slow. Right, I'm going to try and glue it as best as I can. I don't know whether this is out of date, this CT1. It's not coming out fantastic, but I'm still going to give it a go. I think the gun might be pants. There we go. There we go, plenty of that in there. Ooh. Bit of air in it. Thought that was a socket popping. Ah, right. Nope. That was this breaking. Well, get a new one of them, shall we? Right, and then we'll get this in here, like so. I'm going to try and get it around there as well. But what I want to do to hold it in for now is a couple of screws. Can you plaster over CT1? I don't even know. I hope so. I'm going to have to cut it all out. Now, before I pack everything away, I'm going to test. Everything I touch, I test. So basically, I want to go through the lights to start with, which I'm going to use this to do the lights with. There's nothing I can do about these. Right, I just have to tip them out all the time. So let's get a live lead. I wish you could do something about them. So it's alive. Sugar. Nut. Neutral. It's just all of them are tangled up. Right, live, neutral and earth. To make sure that it's all connected spot on as it should be. And I can get these into that, but I can't get onto the earth because they haven't got an earth in there. So I want to just get the earth on there. Minus 48 volts. What's all that about? No live. Or have I got the live one around? There we go. You've got to make sure you get it right around. Right. Oh, sugar, not high, not high, not high, not high. ATT, that's better. Right. Not 99. I think that's a bit high, but I think it's time to get rid of that as well. See it better. Right, well that's high, but I know why. Because that's got a joint box in there. I say high-ish for a lighting circuit. I think we're alright. This one, I have to get it in the wrong way around every time. Alright. 248 volts. $85. That is good. Basically, what I'm doing here is just making sure that I have got a live, neutral and earth into each fitting, because, you know, like I say, these just had live, neutral and earth hanging out. And after what I saw in this one, yeah, I pulled it all back down and used it. Right. I'll tell you what, I knew it, it's off. Right, so let's get this on. Right, goes through a dimmer as well. Right. Ooh, what's gone wrong? It's because it's going through that frigging dimmer, I bet. Oh, mate. It doesn't like it. Because the light's going through the dimmer. Yeah, see. Stupid thing. Right, so what we're going to do now, I'll prove it to you. Neutral. What on earth? Live. So we can just test the neutral, the live, which will be the middle one, and the earth. Sugar in there like so. And because it's not going through the dimmer, we're going to get a better reading. There we go, 071. Stupid dimmer. I haven't touched that landing one. This one, I have. Let's turn it on. Nothing, that means I've got it in the wrong way around. There we go, 248. 1.17, quite high, but I think this is towards the end of line. High, but not excessively rubbish. Right, now the first one, I'm going to obviously test the lives to make sure that the ring circuit's decent. But look, if you look at that, that's not bad. that dries a bit better, it should be good. Right, so let's do the lives first. I'm confident it's a ring because I tested it before I collected onto it. So then now, 0.29. That is a good reading for a ring circuit. On the lives anyway. Neutrals, 0.29. Obviously, that is good as well. And the earth, 0.47. That is something exactly what you'd expect. Right, let's do the earth to neutral. Nothing. Other earth to neutral. Nothing. We're just trying to see whether there's anything. See if the cable's damaged. I know it's not on the new one, right? Of course. But this just proves that it's spot on. So that's the day done. What is it? 10 to 5. We'll call that 5 o'clock. So 8:30 till 5 o'clock is around 8.5 hours. The materials of all the job come up to about this. So that's 8.5 hours plus the materials. So how much would you charge for that job in total? And from the original quote that I gave them, there was a few differences. I basically rewired the live circuits from them lights. I didn't just move the cables, they didn't reach, so I had to rewire some of them. And then I also put 2 sockets in that wall where I assumed I was putting 1 in. And then also a light we took down, I put up in next door's property. So, and I put a dimmer on. So there's a few extra bits as well that added up. So all in all, how much do you reckon that job's worth?